3D Doom from scratch by Useman Dev. And I really liked the thumbnail on this. Now this is I don't know when he made this. Right here. This was a really cool thumbnail. Instantly got me interested in this. And I want to see what how he remade Doom.
Doom is one of the most iconic first-person shooters of all time. Released all the way back in 1993, it has changed the way we see FPS games today. So I thought, why not remake the original game in the most basic game engine there is, Scratch, a visual programming language designed primarily for beginners where games are created by dragging around blocks. I have remade multiple games in Scratch on my channel so far, but this is by far one of the hardest challenges we're about to attempt. The reason this
I've literally never heard of Scratch before. This is like completely new to me. I have no idea what the fuck Scratch is. I mean, he just explained it. Obviously, he just explained it. I'm not that dense, but yeah, dude, never heard of Scratch.
Is so difficult is because we will be attempting to create a 3D game in a simple 2D engine. Scratch has no option or even a triangle render or even the slightest support to rendering. However,
but here's the thing. Doom was a 2D game.
There's a simple tool called Pen, which comes with Scratch that makes it draw simple lines and dots. However, that's still not enough. The performance in Scratch is very bad, and so we will be using TurboWrap to help with that. TurboWrap is a Scratch mod with a compiler to run projects.
Do you need a free
Dude, so this dude picked the worst engine to develop on, was like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of games in this engine that nobody's heard of that can't handle 3D. Dude, just download Easy FPS Editor.
Faster. But even with that performance, the performance still isn't the best. This means we need to find a rendering method that can cope with all of these limitations. First, we need to understand that we are not making a 3D project. What we are making is an illusion on a 2D screen that looks 3D. We also have
exactly how the original Doom was. The original Doom was an illusion that looked 3D but was a 2D game.
Many methods of making this illusion. To get an idea on how this can be tackled, I hit up my friend Zayton.
Hi all, first time I to hit the like. You've been to my stream how many times, and this is the first time you're liking? That goes out to everybody out here. Like. Boost me into the algorithm. Put me in the algorithm, baby.
Who has dealt with this problem before, and we got to work. We wondered what option to go with, as we have the following two options. Methods that use math to calculate points and fill between them. 2 methods that use rays, simple lines that find distances between the player and the map, helping to see the view. Between these two options, we ended up going with using rays. Raycasting is a simple way to create an illusion of 3D. Think of a simple dot on a map. This dot wants to see the map from its perspective.
Yeah, this is exactly what Doom was, though, wasn't it?
So it sends a smaller dot that keeps moving until it hits the wall on the map. After it hits, it tells the dot the distance that is moved. We can use the distance to draw a vertical line. The longer the distance is, the shorter the line is. This means if we do this for every pixel on the screen, stacking the vertical lines next to each other and move the small dot for every line of those, a small simple view will appear. Awesome. Now we can add textures, floors, and ceilings and entities. And hold on, what about the difference in heights? Can raycasting have these? No. Sadly, the ray will stop as soon as it touches the wall, thus ignoring every.
Right, okay, so but how did they do the different heights in Doom? That's what I'm curious. Like Doom is a 2D game. It's a 2D game that tricks you into thinking it's 3D. Same with the build engine games. Build engines are like 3D, they're like 2.5D. But Doom was never true 3D, neither was Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein was probably much more like this than Doom was. Doom, they pushed id Tech a little bit further to make it like this. But it was 2D at the time.
Everything behind it. So what can we do about this? Here comes ray listing, an idea about not stopping the ray. We can use Scratch list to store the data, and now we draw the list in reverse order, and now no walls will be ignored in the ray casting. It's simply amazing. We imported the project into TurboWrap, but to ensure the challenge is still in Scratch by default, we didn't use any unofficial extensions. Now we can initialize multiple variables such as the camera's position, X, Y, and Z, along with the direction which the camera looks at. We also initialized the map which the rays will be hitting. Next, we did some work on the camera's main functions using trig functions of sine and cosine. We now enter a very important decision. How do we move the ray? Imagine
Bro decided let's make Doom the hardest way possible. For why though? Like, I understand it's for YouTube and clicks and ad revenue and whatever, but this seems like a ton of fucking work on an engine that's not made to do it. Like, cool, you did it, but why wouldn't you just make another game? Why wouldn't you just make a brand new game? Like, you get an easy FPS creator, editor, build yourself. I made the craziest game in Easy FPS editor, and then just post it on itch.io, and then people can go play it. Like, this is a lot. I know it's the challenge. I know it's the challenge to do it, but you could learn an engine that's a lot more practical and then build some other cool shit that people could then buy.
now that you are the ray, and I'm recording how long you take, but you have a special power. You can control how much you move in a single step. Sure, I'll stop the timer when you hit a wall, but I want you to hit it in the best accuracy and least time. Obviously, you will turn up the step distance to something very big, and in a single step, you're gonna move some very long distance. It is as though you are teleporting, but chances are you're gonna teleport inside the wall or even miss it. If you actually hit the wall, you're actually still gonna be inside it.
I get it's not the point of the video. I understand it's not the point of the video. It's cool he did this, but the thought process behind it, the process behind it is insane. I mean, this video got what the fuck is the views, dude? 206 comments, 58,000 views, 58,000 views, and that's cool. It's cool he did this. Very cool. I'm for the fact that it's fucking cool and Bases did this, but why though? Like, dude was sitting, here's the thing, dude was sitting fucking rubbing one out on his couch. He was rubbing one out on his couch and he's like, post-nut clarity like a mofo, and he was like, this is it. I am going to make a 3D game in an engine that shouldn't be making 3D games, because why? I'm bored. It's insanely cool. It's cool. Just the mind process behind it when there are engines that could do this. And you could be like, I made, and then make like a really, really fucking sick game. Like you could down spec a game into like Easy SPS Creator and make something like really fucking sick and show people the possibilities of it. That is an actual engine that normal people are gonna use. This guy's like, nope, I'm making the most complicated fucking thing ever. And I get he's passionate, and I can feel the passion right here. Just fucking, it's a lot.
Thus giving an inaccurate distance, and we don't want that. Okay, how about you tune the step size to something balanced? You're gonna slow down, and even with that, be a little inside the walls, giving yet again inaccurate distances. Okay, but how about we tune it to something really small? You're gonna be hella slow, but get almost perfect distances. But now you're taking the whole day to reach the wall. So what do? This problem seems impossible to solve. Well, here comes DDA, short for Digital Differential Analysis. It's an algorithm that allows you to move big steps in pixel perfect distances. How in the world? Well, it's smart math. DDA needs to make two parts: initialization, which happens every time a ray is ready to cast, and traversal, which actually calculates the size of the step and moves the ray. This needs some variables like step x, y, and length x, y. Now, finally, the ray colliding scripts come to life. To reduce these lists, we use an encoder to join all the map data into one list item. But now, how are we going to read that? Well, we made a decoder which reads the format and splits it into how the data was again. Now, the ray moves and collides. But what's missing? It's the actual ray listing. As before, ray listing is just saving clips.
Bro's brilliant. Bro's undeniably brilliant. This is so fucking overwhelmingly much information and mathematics and chaos put into this. This is brilliant. Unnecessary, but brilliant. Jesus.
Data, or simply the data that the decoder
if you ever want to know why,
Like, I'm just like, if you're wondering why I'm so bad, like just baffled and so confused, it's the fact that this dude has this ability and he's so fucking smart. And I know that he's doing it for YouTube. I know he's passionate and this is cool and learning to master your craft. But it's one of those things that I can't also think, but what else could he be doing? Like, think of the possibilities this guy has. If he's able to do this, imagine how much cool shit he could make if he learned like a real like Unity or the corner horror of the market fucking Epic's engine, Unreal. Like, the possibilities are endless for this guy.
Gives us. So we made the decoder add the data to properties lists such as height, distance, and textures, which are right now only color. You're probably thinking, when is the actual Doom gameplay going to come in? Don't worry, that will come soon, because remember, we are literally making a 3D view on a 2D engine. So all this groundwork needs to be set in place for 3D.
But like, here's the funny thing again. Doom was a 2D game. So this is why I'm saying, like, he's acting like Doom was originally a 3D game. It was never a 3D game. They literally did this back in the 90s, and it was revolutionary for the time. So he's kind of retracing steps that have been already paved, and that's why I'm like if you would have made a game that was like made the first level of Quake, he's like what if Quake was like Doom? I made Quake 2D. Like, that to me, I think I wouldn't be having this hang up, but I think it's the fact that Doom was already a 2D game.
Doom to even happen. We added the texture and performance started to become slow. So we had to implement backface culling. Backface culling is a performance optimization that avoids drawing polygons that are determined to be facing away from the camera. So we essentially remove the unnecessary parts that are rendered but never seen. Now comes the fun part, making the map. But it's also the most difficult part. This is because we can't import the map. It means that we now have to make every single detail by hand. It also took a lot of time as there's only blocks and no map editor. But before we continue, thank you Milano for sponsoring this video.
Like, I'm not watching another sponsor right now.
Would limit us in many aspects. So that's where Milano shines. The interface is extremely fun, visual, and
like, if you want to check out his if you want to check out his channel, go and get Milano or whatever from him. Do that. But like, it's a 2D game that he made 2D still.
This is our design/references board. Here we've mapped out the level design with the visual references from the original Doom game. I can add notes, images, videos, tasks, and with
is that still going?
Creation and many problems. We finally had Doom's episode 1 map. Finally, we come to the last but also most interesting problem, the entities. We can make this in many ways. We can raycast the entity, which will be very easy to make, but will result in the entities jittering and unstable gameplay. So we thought of a different but more complex approach, which is using a completely different renderer for the entities. So we started by making a similar encoder for the entities. Then we made a repeat loop check for the entities, drawing one at a time. The entities are just points with X, Y, and Z. So we use a rotation formula that rotates a point around another. After this, we use projection to project the rotated X, Y, and Z into an X, Y only, which we can place on the screen. And now the first part is done. When we are about to draw the entity, we do this check to decide whether we will draw it or not. First, we find the line with the same X on the screen as the entity X on the screen. After that, we look at the line's distance and then at the entity's distance. If the entity's distance is less than the lines, it's in front of it, so you draw the entity. However, if the entity's distance is more than the lines, then it's behind it and we don't draw it. And now we just worked on the entity's AI, and so we have the enemies working. Now, after all that work, we present to you Doom in Scratch.
It looks just like Doom because Doom was a 2D game. It's like Doom if the floors were actually glass. Like, I see that the conclusion, he made it in Scratch, really cool, but if you're wondering why it looks just like Doom, because this is exactly how they made Doom, but not in Scratch. They built the engine from scratch. Yeah, it is super impressive. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's like the way he made this is close to the way that it actually made Doom. Yeah, that's exactly Wolfenstein, but you're not wrong. Yeah, no, it also made Wolfenstein. Yeah, it's like it's the exact way that they made Doom, which is really, really cool. Don't get me wrong, incredibly impressive, but it's just a 2D game equal Pac-Man. That's kind of the thought process. Like 2D game, everybody thinks 2D game is like fucking Sonic, Mario, but Wolfenstein's a 2D game. Doom is a 2D game, right? I'll jump back in if you're still streaming, Different. Yeah, I'm still here. But yeah, it's like, it's impressive. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to see the breakdown of how id made their game. It's like CRF. It's just like, I just feel like the premise he started with. What if we made Doom in a 2D engine? It's like, well, Doom was made in a 2D engine. Like, it's cool you did it. It's cool you did the breakdown, but like, in PowerPoint, see, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy that he's doing this. It's crazy that he's taking the time and just like, you know, I'm just going to fucking make a game that was already fucking 2D and a 2D engine. And it's, again, impressive. This is probably really impressive. I've never played Friday Nights at Freddy's, so. But no, yeah, dude. It's cool that he does this. And I mean, turn The Simpsons into a first-person shooter. Some of these, I mean, it looks like he makes some really cool shit. I want to see him make make a game like on Easy FPS Editor where he uses like some really cool original ideas and actually build something super fucking insane. Because I think this guy could take an engine like the Clark build of Easy FPS Editor and put out a game that pushes that engine to its absolute fucking max. He makes something absolutely legendary. I made the greatest Easy FPS Editor game. Or something. I think he has the possibilities to do that, and I want to see him do this shit. I want to see him do more. I guess, like, I don't know. It was cool. It was a cool idea. Fun little deal, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, but yeah, that's all I have to say on that.